What Trump's been able to do is, I say he's basically did a full hostile takeover of the Republican Party. And I don't think it's even as much about the issues. I think it's about the attitude.
Jared's right. This whole thing comes down to attitude. Trump has convinced his hillbilly militia that America was stolen from them, which sounds hilarious were it not dark and menacing. Whether they know it or not, people who still support Trump have adopted this dark agenda. In the beginning, maybe they were just Republicans who couldn't bring themselves to vote for a Democrat. But now, 8 years later, after an attempted coup and insurrection, after repeated calls for violence against Americans with images of war and revenge, picture's pretty effing clear.
Hail Trump!
You have to choose now.
Now that President Trump is the Republican nominee for president in 2024, it's time for Republicans, including those who doubt him or even can't stand him, to get behind him.
Trump tweeted this Orwellian video from a rich investor who's directing MAGA to mobilize for a war against our enemies, a real war here at home. But that war is directed not at those who tried to orchestrate a coup to overthrow our democracy, but instead at immigrants, women, African Americans, and anyone who dares to stand their ground.
Quiet, quiet, quiet. See, he lied about he was going to get up and ask a very straight, simple question.
As you know, Trump comes from a long line of American grifters, fleecing the vulnerable, poorly educated populace.
I love the poorly educated.
All through a combination of greed and hate.
Get behind him. The times demand it.
2 quick points. This guy's dispassionate narrative is the con. It's all designed to convey the lie that he's reciting facts, as does the slow-motion shots of Trump, saluting the same soldiers he called suckers and losers for dying to protect us. The message? It's designed to both frighten and inspire Trump's bottom feeders.
We are in a war fighting an enemy of revolutionaries that kick and spit on America. I call our enemy the woke regime or the group quota regime.
In the last 10 seconds, he implies that if you're not a Trump supporter, you're at war with America. He's not being metaphorical. War means violence and death. Catch the part where they say quota on a shot of Obama.
Or the group quota regime.
The group quota machine is evil? First of all, this guy sounds like someone who hasn't taken a dump since the 50s. Group is a buzzword for communism. Quota implies taking white people's jobs, and regime implies an army. They're not f***ing around. Trump is planning a war.
He understands the group quota regime is evil and will not stop until it destroys America. He is a fighter, bold, brave, and decisive, who has confidence in himself and his country. Trump never apologizes for America. He rightly believes America is the greatest country in history.
That line about Trump, bold, brave, and decisive? How about weak, cowardly, and confused? And look, I love living in America. Well, California anyway. I once spent a week in Alabama, so I have a frame of reference. But the greatest country ever? This is where the woke thing comes in. When I point out our long, still unresolved 400 years of slavery, Jim Crow, and a racist justice system, or the genocide of an entire race of indigenous people, or the fact the U.S. isn't even in the top 10 for social services like infant mortality or healthcare or education, we're 19th in the world, or we have more guns and gun violence per capita than any other developed country, well, that's when these rednecks call me woke. Guilty, but when Trump idiots hear woke, they think I want to put a drag queen in their kid's carpool.
Trump says, in effect, we have our culture. It's exceptional, and that's the way we want to keep it. And we won't keep it if we usher in millions of immigrants.
Wow, they're not even pretending. We have our culture and we like it. So keep those brown people on the other side of the wall. And you have to hand it to this racist clown. He perfectly describes Trump and his MAGA to a T. Trump's already tried to rewrite the Statue of Liberty.
They certainly are. Give me your tired and your poor who can stand on their own 2 feet and who will not become a public charge.
Now it's all on the table. We went from give us your huddled masses to you ain't from around here, are you, boy?
Trump knows his job is to protect Americans and just Americans. Protect them not just from enemies abroad, but from the woke globalists within. He knows that America does not need more diversity. It needs more cohesion.
Protect just Americans? Less diversity and more cohesion? Say it out loud, you pussy. More white people, not immigrants, not NATO.
The presidents of a big country stood up and said, Well, sir, if we don't pay and we're attacked by Russia, will you protect us? I said, you didn't pay? You're delinquent? He said, yes, let's say that happened. No, I would not protect you. In fact, I would encourage them to do whatever the hell they want. You got to pay.
The code is clear.
From this day forward, it's going to be only America first. America first.
But that's a lie, too.
Despite his billions, he is one of them.
You think these cult members will ever set foot in Mar-a-Lago? Maybe as a gardener. Trump is not only a racist, but he's a broke racist, facing serious time in a federal penitentiary. Unless he wins, a Trump victory means he can dismiss charges or pardon himself, and then begin the task of attacking his enemies. Arrest Biden, arrest the media, get this war going.
The woke radicals tell the Trump voters they are a threat to democracy. Think about that. They're saying you Trumpsters are a threat to democracy.
That's exactly what I'm saying, you grim bucket of pud. Remember this?
Fuck these Democrats!
Trump tells his supporters what they already know. They are not racist, and they do not have white privilege.
Now that reveals a lot.
Racism bounces off Trump because he has no white guilt, or any guilt for that matter.
Of course Trump has no guilt. Sociopaths are incapable of empathy and remorse because it's all about them, always.
I am the chosen one.
This video is rich with irony because everything about this message tells you everything you should fear and loathe, but they're proud of it. They don't want to hide from the simple fact that Trump and MAGA exist because of Trump's racism.
Very fine people on both sides.
If they manage to put him in jail, he will still roar like a lion.
Roar like a lion in jail? That roar may not be what you think it is.
I could be a friend to you.
How you see this video tells me a lot about you. For most of us, it's a grim reminder of the power and hate and fear. But creepy as it is for us, this guy watches it, then rubs one out.
Trump's base knows firsthand the America that Trump wants to recover. They love him, and they know he loves them.
Here's what you need to know about fighting. While Trump, Flynn, and Bannon talk about toughness,
all hell is going to break loose.
Look at these guys. They're old and fat. They get lightheaded getting out of their Barco Lounger. The cops and the military aren't going to support a dictator.
I want to be a dictator.
The generals and those who are close enough to smell the load in Trump's pants won't stand for it.
We are unique among the world's militaries. We don't take an oath to a country. We don't take an oath to a tribe. We don't take an oath to a religion. We don't take an oath to a king or a queen or to a tyrant or a dictator. And we don't take an oath to a wannabe dictator. We don't take an oath to an individual. We take an oath to the Constitution, and we take an oath to the idea that it's America, and we're willing to die to protect it.
I am the chosen one.
Yeah, Trump has been chosen, not by God, but by a grand jury.
Am I wrong?
Goddamn right.
Who's with me?
Time to pack it up.
I'm just getting warmed up.
This isn't their Republican Party anymore.
Yes!
Tick-tock, mother...
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
Follow, like, and please subscribe to Really American, where we keep you up to date on the latest Republican cult lie in this very important year. Hey, and make sure you join us as a member on Patreon, where we can connect directly with you and enable us to expand, make more videos, and hire more hosts. We can't do it without you. For Really American,
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.